Hello everyone. Today we are going to ask, what happens now? What should we do? Vacant houses in Japan. Let's try to understand the current situation of vacant houses in Japan based on data. First, let's consider, why are vacant houses a problem? Let's think about this. The existence of vacant houses is not a problem in itself if we consider moving out. If there were no vacant houses at all, we would be faced with the choice of moving all together at the same time, or building a new house and moving out. So a particular problem with vacant houses is that they are not properly managed. What problems can a vacant house with a low level of management or neglect bring? An abandoned and neglected house in a neighborhood is undesirable from a crime prevention perspective. Suspicious people may enter and live in the house. It is also a problem from a disaster prevention perspective, as the building may collapse or crumble, the roof or exterior walls may fall down, or a fire may break out. If the property becomes a site for illegal dumping, there may be sanitary problems and the landscape may deteriorate. As the owner of a vacant house, you may be willing to let it go, even if the price is close to free. However, for the buyer, considering the cost of demolishing the building and converting the land, even if the vacant house itself can be bought for free, it will cost a certain amount of money until it becomes usable. In addition, if we consider real estate brokers, since the standard commission is usually 3% of the sales price plus 60,000 yen, brokers also have the problem that their costs are higher. If no buyer can be found, you may have no choice but to manage the property as best you can and leave it as it is for the time being. Let's take a look at some statistics on the current state of vacant housing. The official survey is the Housing and Land Survey, which is conducted every 5 years. The most recent survey results, for 2018, were released by the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. To read this graph, the horizontal axis represents the year of the survey. The bar represents the number of vacant housing units. As of 2018, this means that there are 8.49 million vacant housing units. This is shown on the left axis. It shows that the number of vacant housing units continues to increase, although the growth appears to have slowed somewhat compared to the growth from 2008 to 2013. The line graph shows the percentage of vacant housing units in the total number of housing units, or the vacancy rate. Look at the vertical axis on the right. Again, the growth rate appears to have slowed somewhat, but 13.6% of housing units are vacant. That 13.6% means that about 1 out of every 7 homes is vacant. When you think about it, you can see that this is a very serious problem. Next we look at the total number of housing units and households. This data also comes from the Housing and Land Survey. As before, the horizontal axis represents the year of the survey. The right side of the bar chart shows the change in the total number of housing units. We can see that the stock of housing units has continued to grow despite the population decline. The number of households is represented by the bar on the left. The number of households also continues to increase. The line graph shows the number of housing units per household. As can be seen from the fact that it is increasing, the increase in the housing stock is greater than the increase in the number of households. This may be one of the reasons why the number of vacant homes continues to rise. Next, let's take a closer look at the types of vacant homes. Here is another data from the Housing and Land Survey. Secondary residences in the table represent vacation homes, etc. If people were serious about renting or selling, if people were serious about renting or selling their houses, they would manage them properly, so we can expect that the problematic unmanaged vacant houses do not represent all of the total number of vacant houses. According to the Survey of Vacant House Owners, conducted in 2019, more than 50% of all vacant houses are in a dilapidated or damaged condition. Although the number of vacant homes is often sensationalized, it is important to look at the data dispassionately. Given the declining birth rate, the aging of the population, and the concentration of the population in urban areas, there are regional differences in the problem of vacant houses, and the problem seems to be more serious in rural areas. Let us examine the data to see if this is the case. The prefectures with the highest percentage of vacant houses are as follows. Yamanashi Prefecture ranks first with 21.3%. Wakayama, Nagano, Tokushima and Kochi prefectures follow. In these prefectures, about 1 in 5 houses is vacant, a figure that is hard to believe at first glance. On the other hand, the prefectures with the lowest vacancy rates are as follows. Saitama, Okinawa, Tokyo, Kanagawa and Aichi. This suggests that the vacant housing problem is more serious in rural areas than in urban areas. Which prefectures have the most vacant houses? Tokyo, Osaka, Kanagawa, Aichi and Chiba prefectures, in that order. This is almost the same as the ranking of the most populous prefectures. Therefore, we can see that the problem of vacant houses is serious even in urban areas. It is necessary to take measures based on the characteristics of each region. Today we will discuss what will happen, what should be done, vacant houses in Japan, based on actual data. We have looked at the current state of the vacant house problem based on actual data. In the next issue, we would like to look at why vacant houses occur.